up is the Bulls have lost 5 in a row.
What's down?
Like I love playing like fantasy GM in my own head, and I love teams who acquire available players. They're not too expensive. They just put it, and I like the way the Bulls put this thing together. I'm like, ooh, Lonzo Ball, Vucevic. That's as good as you could do for a non-unmovable guy, right? Ooh, I like the Caruso, and they just put it all together. They got a mid-range guy in DeRozan, a long-range guy in Zach LaVine, both with bounce and hops. And what have you seen with the Bulls this year?
You know, earlier this year, I was so hyped on them. I really was. I was excited. And then something happened. The Nets came in. Kyrie just got cleared. Just got cleared. It was one of his first games playing. And they went into Chicago. I don't know if you guys remember this game. It was a national TV game. And they hyped it up. And they got beat by 172 points. And then the next night at home, 2 nights later, Golden State beat them by 40 at home.
Without Lonzo or Patrick Williams, right?
Well, Patrick Williams, I think Lonzo was playing.
Lonzo was playing.
This is the beginning of the year.
Early in the season.
This is earlier in the year.
Yeah,
I'm saying. And for me, those were barometer games. And I kind of went, okay, I kind of get now. I kind of get now where we're at with this team. Now, having said that, I thought last night was another opportunity. Let's see. And you know what? When you watch the bottom line is this. They don't have enough. They just don't have enough. As good as DeMar DeRozan has been this year, and he has been absolutely sensational, and Zach LaVine is a really good player and a professional scorer in this league, they just do not have enough.
Heat did it to him, too.
They're not on that level. They're not on that level with the other teams that I would label as legitimate contenders. And actually, Boston has now gotten themselves into that conversation. So I think there's 5 teams, and Chicago is just not in that category.
In the East.
Yes.
Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Boston.
Milwaukee. Cleveland, if you want to.
Miami.
Miami.
There you go. 5 teams. Boston became the 5th. I had 4 for a long time. Boston, the way they're playing, you can't deny that they're now at least in that debate. I think Chicago, they're just not in that category.
So, Legs, Max and I always try to go down this conversation line with Zach LaVine. What is missing with Zach LaVine? Like, when you watch his talent, it feels like he should be an all-star every damn year. Every year.
MVP, given the talent.
Trending towards that conversation. Yeah. What is missing in your opinion?
2 things, I think, for me with Zach LaVine. I think one of the biggest ones is he doesn't have the escapability with his handle to win any matchup in front of him. Like when you talk about the other elite players that can lead teams to titles, they have an unstoppable ability to score against anything that's in front of them, certainly, in a one-on-one situation. And the second thing,
Vince Carter-ish.
He doesn't have the ability to beat you with his playmaking. He's not going to beat you that way. Like, if you want to run double teams and get the ball to Zach LaVine on a night, maybe DeMar's sitting, he's not going to pick you apart to the tune of 10, 12 assists where you're getting a bunch of threes, and now you go, okay, we have to adjust now to this, and now he goes and beats you as a scorer again. The elite guys, they're going to beat you that way too, typically. And if they're not going to beat you with their passing, the elite guys, they're going to be so dominant as a scorer, it doesn't matter. Because they're going to win any matchup. And that's the thing. He's close as a scorer to doing that. He just doesn't have the handle, and he's certainly not on that level as a playmaker.
I think that's right on.
When you look at him, though, when you look at him, could it be that with the guys missing in Ball along with Caruso, and when you add them back into the mix, does his game change at all? Or will it still be the same, Leg?
No, listen, it's a good point because he goes back and he gets into his lane that he's comfortable, which is just as a finisher. And that's where he should be. But look, the bottom line with the Chicago Bulls, since January 1st, they are 1-11 against the top 6 teams in either league. You know, take both conferences. The teams that currently are not involved in the play-in, right? You're 6 or above, you're in a good spot. They're 1-11 against those teams.
What's so interesting about that analysis, I think it's dead on, is Vince Carter was this way too. There are guys like Kobe who could create their own offense because of the handles too, right? And there are other guys that check a lot of boxes, but the bottom line is they can't create their own offense off the bounce the same way because their handles need to be 20% better or something. Maybe that's what it is with LaVine, yeah.
I mean, in their defense, to a degree, Vucevic wasn't playing last night. Now, I still don't think Vucevic would have stopped Joel Embiid, but offensively, it would have been a different matchup for the Bulls other than Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, I look at what the other teams we mentioned on the list that could potentially win the Eastern Conference. There's 5 teams. just look at the versatility offensively.
Okay, let me make the argument real quick. Let's say they're healthy. Lonzo's the point guard. You got LaVine at the 2 who can shoot the 3, shoot the free throw, and finish at the rim. You got DeRozan, killer mid-range game. Patrick Williams comes back for defense, rebounding, everything else, and he's starting to develop offensively. Vucevic is a do-everything center at a very high level. You got Caruso off the bench. You got Kobe White. Like, you got different pieces. What's their ceiling?
You made me feel like I just sat at home for a PSA for the Chicago Bulls, right? It's like a campaign ad you just did, and my vote's still going somewhere else, right? Like sometimes you're just sitting on the sofa, and that commercial comes on, and you watch the commercial, but you're like, oh, I already know where I'm voting.
Second round of the playoffs.
Eastern
Depending on the
Conference
matchup, they might not get out of the first round. I mean, think about the year that they had, and they might go home early. And look, part of it is because you got a team hovering down in the play-in right now in Brooklyn that potentially could get to the finals, and we won't know until we see that group all together. And will Kyrie ever get to play every night? That could be a team that ends up in the NBA Finals, and they're currently, several spots behind Chicago. So it's just those teams, to me, their ceiling with their best players.
DeRozan is an all-star. He's not Kevin Durant. He's not Embiid. He's not. So he's
Leave
not.
my team alone, Key.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.